So, is it fair to say I have a fair amount of Kaisers that I need to get to? So they ran a sale and I took advantage of it and picked up some knives that I've been looking at. So I do want to get a couple of these checked in. So I'm going to take this one and these, and we're going to move them out of the way. And I want to get into these right here. And they are both the KIZER clutch. So let's go ahead and get them both out of these boxes, and we'll kind of reveal them here, and then we'll get the boxes out of the way. Okay, so I've got that one out. Let's get this one out. And I couldn't help myself but to get both of these. You know, there's the cleaning cloth and paper and standard Kaiser stuff. A full set of additional hardware. That one had the exact same stuff was in that one. This one is the carbon fiber, but it's cut the long way. I don't know what that's called, but I know I like it a lot. So let's get rid of all this stuff. And while I'm doing that, let me think, which one of these am I going to take apart? I mean, actually, I'll take them both apart, but which one in the video am I going to take apart? Which one, if I was y'all, which one would I rather see? I'm going to do that off camera because it's kicking my butt. Yeah, which one of these would, if I was watching this, which one of these would I want to see come apart? I believe they're exactly the same, except for the handle material. Let's run them and make sure. Oh, that's so nice. So nice. So this one is, come on. S35VN. Let's see what the other one is. That micarta. Oh, man, that is so grippy. Yeah, so this one is S35VN. So the only difference between the two is the handle material. So I say let's do, gosh, it's so hard. I guess let's do the carbon fiber. So I'm going to put this one right here because basically it's the exact same knife. Let's run them. So that action is just wonderful. Just snappy. Detent's really nice on it. Just shy of being drop shut. Just shy of it. A little encouragement and it runs down. That detent's pretty tough. It's pretty early at the top. And then on the bottom, it's pretty powerful. Just sucks it right in there. Yeah, there's no shaking that out of there. Nice. Let me see if this one's got better action. We'll take it apart. How about that? Oh, this one might be drop shut. A little stiffer detent, I think. This one's definitely got better action. Yeah, isn't that amazing? Two exact knives, exactly the same. Just different inserts in the handles. And the action is better on this one. which, you know what that means? It means I'm going to take this one apart to see if I can't make it drop shut like that one. Yeah, this one's taking a little coaxing. So, yeah, well, let's get it apart. Let's get moving. Let's get this show on a road. So this is my style of pocket knife. I have looked at this knife, and when the sale happened, it was such a big sale that I couldn't pass it up. And so then I got looking, and it was like, well, they've got both of these, so I'm tempted. I think I'm going to get them both, and that's what I did. So basically, the sale was deep enough that I got them both for prior to the sale, or now because the sale is over. I got them both for what I would pay for one. It was basically a buy one, get one free. So I kind of couldn't pass it up. Yeah, there's not a lot of lubrication in here, if any. So I'm pretty sure when I clean this and put it back together, that it's going to make a difference in how it runs. Yeah, there's no lubrication in here at all. Which kind of makes a good point on why, you know, having a screwdriver, which, you know, my Amazon links have all my screwdrivers and my Weehaw bits and my little pliers. You know, has all that stuff. And so a minimal investment could absolutely set you up that if you buy a knife, you can take it apart. Take your time. Create a workspace. Doesn't have to have one of these mats, but I'm pretty sure these mats right here, I might have bought them on Amazon. I've got a couple of different ones. When I first bought them, I liked the measurement part. It's like a craft mat is what it is. I like the measurement part, but I don't measure anything. It's pretty rare. Every now and then I'll go, I wonder how long that is or whatever, so I can lay it, you know, on these grids and get a basic idea. But, you know, when I started, because when I check in a knife, and the way I've been doing it for many years, I don't really pay attention to specs and measurements. And so it only came into play when I started thinking about, I think I'm going to do some YouTube videos and kind of, you know, I can do my check-ins online. I could talk about it. And I was kind of excited about doing that. So I've got this mat. I got another one, thinking that, you know, like other reviewers, I would get down in those weeds. But, man, it didn't take me but a nanosecond to go, yeah, I don't really care about all that. And so I'm not going to do it. You know, if I'm looking at a knife, I may, if I don't have a clear indication of the size of the knife, I may look at the specs. Just because I've had that happen where I bought a knife and I thought it was a certain size. And this thing that I'm about to say only goes one way. It does not go both ways. But I thought it was a certain size, and then I got it, and I found out that it was a tiny knife. But in the imagery, it made it look like it was, you know, like a large to medium knife. And so if I can't tell, I may look. Yeah, I may peek in and go, I wonder how big that knife really is. And so I may look at a measurement. Very rarely will I look at the weight. Oh, why is that bound up on there? That bearing was not going smooth onto that pivot pin. Like it was too big. me check the other one. Yeah, I mean, that's snug on there. That's interesting. Pretty sure that, so the bearings are not turning in there. They are fixed. And that may be why this one has different action. Although it should be, the bearings should be able to be fixed and the blade turn on the actual little balls. So maybe I'm making a deal out of nothing. I've just never encountered that before. Usually the bearing is slightly larger than that pivot pin. Okay. So, what was I talking about? Got distracted. So, measurements and specs and all, I kind of got down on that little rant. It's not something I'm interested in, so I don't do it. I don't weigh them. I'm not really interested in that. You know, if there's a reason that those things are of interest to me on a particular knife for whatever reason, I may investigate it prior to the purchase. But I don't do that stuff in my videos, because in the end, man, I want to see a knife run. I don't know how many videos I watch from other reviewers, and it's like, man, just run the knife. I just want to see it run. I want to see you hold it. I want to see you open it. I want to see you close it. And the rest of all this stuff, I'm not interested. Sorta. And so I kind of just do the stuff that I'm interested in. Not sure why, but that screw doesn't seem to want to go in there properly. So I'm going to take my time and get that in there. Yeah, so that's my story on these grids. But, you know, my point is, get the tools, get you a mat, and so that you can keep track of the parts and the pieces, that kind of thing. Something to work on. Yeah, something's out of whack here. It's all right. I'm just going to back this off, and we'll get this realigned back here properly, because it is not aligned. It's off for some reason, somehow. But yeah, get you a work mat, something to work off of. It could just be a towel. Starting to think of that. Starting to think of a Jim Carrey movie where he says, "I'm kicking my own. Do you mind?" It's like the struggle between good and evil on this one. Both screws are working to get tight. Well, it's a big enough deal that I'm going to have to get that right, so I'm going to take a break and get it. Okay, Goober, forgot to turn the camera back on. Good grief. All right, well, we're all back together. And I guess let's run this action and see if I made any improvements. Let's wipe off some fingerprints. Okay. I mean, maybe it's slightly better. Well, it's definitely like there. It's releasing and dropping. Like wickedly so. Once it gets to that point. So, I don't know. Is it better? Maybe. So, the action on this is just sick. There's only one way to get it out, but it's through the zipper tab. It's got some fairly decent jimping here that grabs. Yeah. Blade centered. Pocket clip looks like it's going to run good. We'll check it, but this micarta, or I'm sorry, the carbon fiber on this one, it's length cut. It's just, I really like the way that that's done. This is really a classy version of this knife. I like this a lot. It looks good. It's a good looking knife. Might be a good candidate to have some anodizing done. Yeah, but it's to me it looks amazing the way it is, and this bead blasted titanium, I like it. It's got a good texture. Grip. So this is, I'm not going to say it's very confident, but it is a confident grip. The bite here for the finger, and that's one of the things that attracted me to this knife, is, you know, when I'm looking for a pocket knife, me personally, I'm thinking backup knife, self-defense knife. Like it has to function in that role. Like I'm not out chopping 2x4s or digging staples out of fence lines, or, you know, I'm not doing that anymore at this point in my life. So it's really kind of a, if I need a knife, I need a sharp knife for simple things, I've got it. And possibly a self-defense knife, backup knife. I mean, that's kind of the space I'm living in. So I liked this in this shape. That looked like something that was going to provide a strong grip, and it does. My finger tucks in there really nice, and that's a strong grip. If I was to go forward and meet resistance, my hand would stay planted in this. So I'm not going to say very confident, but it's definitely confident and leaning towards very, versus slightly confident over here, very confident here. It's not centered at confident. It's leaning towards very confident. It's a great grip. The pocket clip hides. It's milled so well. It just tucks into the palm where it's supposed to. No sharp edges. Nothing hot in there. It's got a great grip. Let's check that clip. Check it, my trusty thin, thicker. All right, here we go. Yeah, easily down in there, anchored with 2 screws into the titanium. It's an excellent pocket clip, very smooth in and out. Same thing on the thinner material, very smooth in and out. That's going to be a one-handed pocket clip. Even on this thick material, that would be one-handed. I'd be able to get that in there with one hand. Let's check it for safety. Make sure we can't touch the tip. The tip's protected there. Nice. Make sure we can't contact that blade through the back. Nice and protected. So the pocket clips a go. The blade contact through the back is a go. The tip's a go. Wonderful. So price and availability. That's where we're at with this. What do we got for price and availability? So yeah, this is good news, bad news, or bad news, good news. So the bad news is they're back to their normal price, which is like $165. Both these models are going to run that price. They're titanium, S35VN steel, micarta, which this micarta on this one is so grippy. I mean, the grip on this one will probably get more time in my pocket than this one. Yeah, I mean, this one, yeah, it may get more time. But anyhow, they're back to $165, and the only availability that I can see is on Amazon. So is it in fact available, or is it somebody hasn't pulled their ad yet? I'm not really sure. So that's the bad news. The good news is that if they were willing to sell these for half of that price last month, they'll probably be likely to do it again. So if this is something that you're interested in, I would definitely keep my eye out for it. I noticed on this one's got a satin finish. This one has a stone wash finish. So this one just looks a little more rugged, a little more work oriented, whereas this one is a little dressier version. Yeah. It's got that tool steel look. Looks like a ratchet. Nice steel. I like that look. Anyway, so that's what we got going. Do they cut? Let's get that out of the way and then call it a video. Yeah, so how about they really cut? Super sharp. I'm assuming this one's the same, but come on. Let's prove it. Yeah, it's going to make me struggle now. Sure enough. There we go. So, sharp, good to go. Titanium S35VN. Right now, they're $165 on Amazon. And actually, I only saw this one. So, appreciate you watching.